Alright, so still working on the X6, and I figured out the reason, or I found a reason why my passenger side hood latch wasn't latching properly. It would always pop open, but it was always funky and hard to get to fully latch. And I figured out it has to do with this hood cable here. So I'll describe how to fix it, and then I'll describe how the mechanism works, because everybody wants to hear the fix first. It has to do with this guy right here. This is a 90-degree like plastic guide for the cable, and then this sheathing kind of slips into there. But over time, if you work on this, you have to remove all this stuff, you kind of end up pulling the sheathing out of this guide, and then you don't have enough slack for the pin here to fully retract and latch onto the hood. So the way I figured out how to fix it is you kind of have to like reposition this the best as possible. When I first got into this was like kind of jutted out like that, the way my finger was, but you kind of want it up and down, like how my finger is now. So you gotta get it up and down like this, and then possibly even just give this some more slack. When I had this pulled out, I kind of jammed the sheathing the best I could back into this guide also, but it kind of just pops back out once you put it in this position. But as long as you can see that guide is up and down, it gives it just enough slack to lock. So now let me show you how this stuff locks. You can see there's a second pawl right here, which is the rustier colored one, and then you have the first pawl right here. So the second pawl hooks onto this area right here, and that's how it latches. And when you pull your hood cable, the second pawl goes back like so, and then the first pawl kind of retracts this way too. Let me show you how it's supposed to look like. And this is the driver's side, and as you can see, way smaller of a gap between the second pawl and the first pawl, because this one has the proper slack, so this second pawl can retract onto the lock the best as possible. So as I loosen that up, that's what happens. So if you close your hood, your hood loop kind of pushes down on this, and then it shows that second hook, and that's what the second pawl hooks onto. Anyways, so basically, make sure this guy is up and down, and if you could, just get the sheathing back into this guide the best as possible. If you can't, like I can't, it just kind of stays like this, and it hooks on, but just kind of weaker. So, there you have it. Quick little guide on what could be wrong if your hood latch isn't latching. The best solution, I believe, is to just buy a new hood cable, because that way the sheathing isn't pulled out of that guide, and you really don't have this issue in the future. So thank you guys for watching. Hope it helps.